Hi guys, and welcome to the first day in my Mixed Media May art challenge that I've created. So this is the prompt list. It's up on my Instagram. Unfortunately this camera doesn't really focus very well, so you can't really see the list very clearly, but it is up on my Instagram and the link is in my description box, so you can go check the list out if you want to create yourself. But as you can see, day one is watercolour, so I have all my watercolour supplies ready. I already have a pretty good idea of what I want to create today, and for a theme I'm hoping to keep for the majority of the May challenge. So I'm just going to get started straight away, going to get stuck into it and start with some thumbnail sketches in my plain sketchbook. This is just like a random cheap sketchbook that my uncle got me as a Christmas present, nothing fancy, I don't think, but it works well for doing little sketches. So I'll just get started. I'll talk you guys through some of it as I go. And some of the supplies I'm using, and then I will move to my Boldmere watercolour pad and I'll do the actual painting in this, obviously. I am just knocking into everything. I'm so sorry for all the noise. I don't know how well you guys can see, but I'm thumbnail sketching some squirrels. For some reason this little dude here looks like a lion and I don't know what I've done, but oh well, the show must go on. So this is where my camera's lack of focus really annoys me, because you can't really see what's going on here. So I started off with a little thumbnail of a little squirrel, and then this is also meant to be a squirrel. It doesn't quite look like the pictures I was using for reference. Like, it's a bit chunky, and his head's a bit funny looking. But this, I think, is what I'm going to go with. I probably should point out now, I'm hosting an art challenge, but I'm really not an artist. I'm not great. I just do this for fun. So, yeah. So this is my little squirrel dude. He's a little squirrel, and he's got a fishing rod, and he's going fishing. I might make that a boot, or like he's holding something else if I don't really know how I want to do the background. But I'm going to try and add some clothes to him, because he can't really see, but in this top design, he has a little jumper on. And I have actually done this once before. Done a little squirrel. It turned out better than that one. With a jumper on. So I think I'm going to try and give him a little jacket, and then it'll be a case of taking it to my watercolour sketch pad, drawing it in properly and all neat, and then going to colouring. Okay, so I know when you're doing thumbnail sketches you usually do like a few little ones and then kind of add to one you like. But I've just gone with one design, and honestly, well, two kind of, and I honestly quite like this one. I'm not sure what's going on with his feet. I'm going to do a little bit more of a study into like the shape of squirrel feet and little hands before I actually properly draw this. But you can kind of see here, again, I am hoping to get a camera that focuses better, but you can kind of see I've added a little jacket here with a little collar, and he's got a tiny little pocket because, you know, you always need that. And then obviously he's got his fishing line, and there's probably going to be like a river here. But it's a little fishing line, and I'm thinking of adding like a little bee or something, so that if I ever draw this character again, that's his one identifying feature other than his jacket. Like he has like a friend or something. Obviously the jacket's not the most original. Loads of people draw animals in clothing, and it's not really the best painting of a squirrel you've ever seen. I mean, squirrels don't really look like this, but you know what? Artistic license, this is how I paint, so I'll just say that it's creative abstract. But now I'm just going to go and take this to my watercolour pad and I'm going to start drawing it in. I think I'm going to do the majority of that off camera just because you've already seen me drawing it, so I'll draw it in my watercolour pad and do some more work on it and then come back to you guys when we're going to start painting. Okay, so I've just finished sketching it into my watercolour book. So this is the pretty much finished design. You can't really see his tail, but it's because the way I'm going to paint it doesn't really matter if I've drawn it in or not. Still cannot get the little hands and the feet right. I think I'm just going to cover his feet with grass, and obviously that handle, I can change and adapt as I put the paint on. I also changed the fish to a boot, partially because I didn't feel like drawing two animals, and also I don't know, something about a squirrel actually catching a fish seemed really weird and kind of wrong to me. I don't condone fishing, even though I do condone other animals. It just didn't feel right, so he's going to call it a boot. His head shape's changed a little bit as well. Like if you look at the original, from that to that, there are obviously some changes, but I think that kind of just happened in the sketching process. Again, I'm not really a very good artist. I just do this for a hobby. So now that I have my base all laid down, and as you can see, I have taped off where obviously I want the edges of the paint to go. I'm just gonna start to colour this in. So I'm gonna start with him, with the squirrel himself and the boot and all of his accessories, and then I'm going to put a little bit of background in. So it's not going to be like a crazy hectic background, it's literally just going to be a little bit sky, grass, river, nothing fancy. So the colours I'm going to be using are a bit of a mix. I'm going to be completely honest now, I don't really know much about the different kinds of pigments, what it means, all of that, but I have these four. I have no idea what brand they are because I got rid of the box and it's not on the tubes. But I've got a lemon yellow. That's not actually for him, really. I was going to try and make him a little bumblebee friend. I haven't decided yet. Vermilion, I cannot pronounce that. I've got an ochre, and then I've got a chrome green that I'm going to use for the grass. I will end up mixing that. I appear to have two yellow ochre. Okay, well, whoops. And then for the river and for some details and stuff, I have these two Reeves ones. These are some old Reeves watercolours, and I have ultramarine and ivory black. I don't really know much about them, to be fair, because we've had them for years, so I just use them. I also will be using these brushes that I have. Yeah. I got them on Amazon as a set, and these are just some Crafts Raw ones. If they're still on there, if I can find the link, I'll put them in the description. They are kind of multi-use, but I've been mostly using them for watercolour and they work really well, so they're really nice and soft. So yeah, that's what I'll be using. I already have a vague idea of how I want to colour, and so I'm going to get my palette and I'll obviously just probably mix, I think, ochre and vermilion, that colour, to kind of get the red rusty shade for my squirrel. Of course, I have some water. I've just knocked my microphone, that's going to make a horrific noise, I'm so sorry. And I've also got a little rag. It's off a t-shirt, but I turned it into a crop shirt, so yeah, time to get painting. So my camera card's nearly full because it keeps like, I don't know, I don't get very long filming time on this, even though it's a big card, it's kind of full already. So I'm going to take my liner pen, I've finished all my colouring pretty much, and I'm going to take my liner pen and line the whole design. So this is the painting finished with all of the lining done. I am a little bit unsure about how I feel about it. The hand is very, very not correct, as is the foot. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship, but I think that often happens with artwork. It's kind of cute. I can see areas for improvement. This looks like I missed a spot, but it's not. It's because red squirrels have a white chest, so that's why that is. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of cute. He's called Prescott. I got my girlfriend to name him. So, whoopsie. So he's called Prescott, and the piece is called Prescott Finds a Boot. I decided not to do the Buzzy Bee, and a unanimous decision was made that his identifying feature is going to be the boot. So if I ever draw him again, the boot will be in the background somewhere, or like next to him, like he's decided to keep it, even though he looks a little bit disappointed. In the end, he falls in love with this little idea of keeping his boot. So yeah, this is the finished piece, and I'm kind of proud of it for my first ever animal in clothing drawing. I don't think it's too bad. So let me know what you guys think in the comment below. I would do some artsy close-up and like all that kind of stuff, but again, my camera quality isn't fantastic, and I was also supposed to be including my face in these videos, but I look like a hot mess right now, so you guys can just look at Prescott instead. If you have any suggestions for other paintings you'd like to see, or other animals you'd like to see throughout the series, be sure to let me know. And one last thing that I wanted to say, because I just went and took some of this video footage off my camera and I already had over an hour and a half to work with, is that whilst I was painting this piece, these touch markers came in the mail. I only ordered them 2 days ago and they were due to come for like the 9th of May, but they've come on the 1st, so I will probably do another short video that's not part of the May series, just do my little review on these, give you my thoughts. I have already opened them and had a look. All I will say is, why is there so much green? So yeah, that'll be another video to come. But for now, I hope you guys like Prescott as much as I do. If you do, comment I love Prescott in the comments below. Leave any suggestions for future videos, and subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time. Bye!